What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. You saw the title. Today I got a quick review for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about the new deluxe edition of Gunnr's album Silk in the Shadows. Now this is actually a record that I talked about not too long ago on the channel. It was like 2 weeks ago or something that I ended up posting the review of this album, and Gunnr ended up seeing it, and then he low-key told me in the DMs that new music was coming really soon, and he hadn't announced the deluxe yet, and then he announced the deluxe like 2 days later. So I didn't want to say anything in the review or in my like post about the review, but I knew this was coming. I was super excited, and I've been waiting for these new 5 tracks. We got 5 new tracks on this EP, and you can tell that some of them are new. Some of them are kind of him going in a little bit of a different direction. Some of them kind of feel like leftovers from the album, but we're going to get into it. The first new track that we get is Kiss, and I think this is a really good banger right in Gunnr's wheelhouse. I also really love that kissing on somebody else refrain that's going throughout the entire track. It really reminds me of like that emo dance music like I was talking about in the original review. If you haven't seen the original review, I would go watch the original review. But it really reminds me of that early 2010s era of emo dance music. Really makes me want a Gunnr Skrillex collab. And like I said before, I'm really loving the production on here. Gunnr is consistent with his crisp, clean, really good sounding production. I think that really shines on this record and specifically on this new track. Body, we see him taking a more low-key approach, but I don't think it's to the detriment of the track. I do think on this track specifically though, what stands out really to me is that change in production at the end. I'm loving the way the end of this track sounds. Bitch is the shortest of the new tracks on this record, but I do really love the fun energy on this, and I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but even on this really short track, I'm really loving the production on here too. Nasty is actually my second favorite track of the new 5. I'm really loving the chorus on this. I think that he's singing his ass off on this song. And my first time listening through this deluxe edition, it even made me think like, damn, I really wish that he would sometimes get like more emotional on the track. We would hear a more emotional side of him. I wish that maybe we'd even get to hear him scream or yell or something like that. That was my first impression, and it was kind of foreshadowing in a way, and we'll get to it when we talk about the next track. But that is something that I do want to see more from Gunnr. I feel like if anything, he can be a little bit one-dimensional. Some of his songs kind of sound the same. I want to see him, like I said, tap more into that emotional bag. He's writing these songs with good lyrics and good production and good vocals, and I just wish that maybe he could expand on those vocals a little bit. I think that sometimes, if anything, he's holding himself back at times. But then I heard Eyes Wide. And Eyes Wide is my favorite track, maybe off this entire album, not just the deluxe. I love when his vocals are isolated on this. This is also probably the closest I'm going to get to a scream from Gunnr, at least for now. I'm loving that dejected delivery that he has sometimes in there too. It almost sounds hopeless, and that's really what I wanted to hear, is him more tapping into that emotional bag, hearing what he's talking about on the track, not just him talking about something that makes him feel dejected or depressed and then him sounding the same as 2 tracks ago when he was talking about something that makes him want to turn up. You know what I mean? So that's why I really like that song specifically, and why I think it's my favorite, is because you get to hear a little bit of a different side of Gunnr that you haven't heard before. And I think that's a little teaser to what he might be working on. Like I said, overall on this deluxe, you kind of get some more of the same, but it's still great. And you also, like I said, you can tell some of these songs are new. At least a couple of these songs, specifically Eyes Wide and Nasty, I think those are the new tracks, because those are where you kind of get to see him tinkering with something else. He's working on something else. And I think he maybe just didn't want to completely expose that, not right now on this deluxe, for a record where like a lot of it sounds like something else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe save it for like a new EP come out next year or something like that. But that is what I want to hear from him. I want to hear him expand on what he's already doing, because I know that what he's doing, he can do it great. I want to see him experiment a little bit. So overall, that's how I'm feeling about it. I'm really loving these new 5 songs. Like I said, specifically Eyes Wide. That might be my favorite song on the whole thing. I would say that like altogether, sticking with my original score, 8 out of 10, which is fantastic. I really think that for this might not be his debut, but it's damn near his debut. Like that's fantastic, and I'm really loving what he's doing on here. I can't wait to see what he does next. Make sure you guys let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this album, and if you liked the video, make sure you actually like the video. It helps me out more than you know. And if you want to subscribe, subscribe, bro. It's free. You know what I'm saying? What in life is free right now? Other than that, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Fuck off.